My own sister took the man I loved, and our mother supported her.
They said she was the backbone of the family, but no one ever asked if she was breaking. From the very beginning, Chloe's life was never truly hers. She was born into a home where love came with conditions, and she never seemed to meet them. As the first daughter of Amanda and Robert, responsibility wrapped around her like a shadow she couldn't escape. While other children played outside, Chloe learned how to cook before she could fully read, how to clean before she could dream. Her younger sister, Mia, lived a different life entirely. Where Chloe worked, Mia rested. Where Chloe sacrificed, Mia received. Their mother, Amanda, never hid her favoritism. To her, Mia was delicate, deserving of protection. Chloe, on the other hand, was strong, and strength in that house meant enduring everything without complaint. Robert saw it all, the unfairness, the quiet pain in Chloe's eyes, but his silence was louder than any protest he could ever make. He said nothing, and in doing so, allowed everything.
Is
School became
5
Chloe's
minus
only
2.
escape,
Anyone?
until
It's
even that was
3,
taken from
teacher.
her. There's not enough money, her mother told her. We have to focus on Mia. And just like that, Chloe's education ended, while Mia continued her schooling. Chloe was pushed into learning a trade, one she didn't choose, but accepted without argument. She buried her disappointment the way she buried everything else, quietly. Years passed. Chloe grew into a woman shaped by sacrifice, skilled, hardworking, and selfless to a fault. She carried her family on her back, paying bills, putting food on the table, holding everything together. And yet, she was still invisible, still unappreciated, still unloved. But the most dangerous thing wasn't how they treated her, it was how she began to believe she deserved it. And sometimes, the deepest betrayals don't come from enemies, but from the people you call home.
My own sister took the man I loved, and our mother supported her.
The first person who made her feel chosen would become the reason she finally walked away. Chloe didn't believe in love, not for herself, not until Jason. He entered her life like something out of a movie, kind, attentive, and most importantly, he saw her. For the first time, Chloe wasn't just the responsible one or the strong one. With Jason, she was simply a woman worthy of love. He spoke about marriage, about forever, about building a family together, about building a life together. And for once, Chloe allowed herself to hope. Wanting her family's blessings, Chloe introduced Jason to her family, but Amanda immediately disapproved. She insisted Chloe wasn't ready for a relationship and warned her not to think about marriage yet. Chloe didn't understand it, but she accepted her mother's words the way she always had. Meanwhile, Mia had already begun looking at Jason differently, not like a sister would, but like someone reaching for a life that belonged to someone else. And suddenly, Amanda's attitude changed completely. The same relationship she once rejected for Chloe became something worth celebrating. She welcomed Mia and Jason together with excitement, proudly supporting the match as though Mia deserved the future Chloe had been denied. And once Amanda discovered how wealthy Jason truly was, any remaining hesitation disappeared. Behind Chloe's back, conversations were held, decisions were made, loyalties shifted. Robert disagreed, But as always, his voice was never stronger than Amanda's authority. Then came the betrayal that shattered everything. Jason, Chloe's Jason, was suddenly dating Mia. Not only that, he is now married to Mia. Not by accident, not from confusion, but by choice. Amanda supported it, encouraged it, justified it. She deserves a better life, she said about Mia, as if Chloe didn't. The pain Chloe felt wasn't loud. It didn't come with screaming or broken glass. It was quiet, the kind of quiet that happens when something inside you breaks beyond repair. After Jason and Mia got married, Chloe finally confronted her mother. How could she support this? How could she watch her own daughter be betrayed and act as if it meant nothing? But Amanda simply shrugged. It's not that serious, she said coldly. Stop being jealous and unappreciative. Jealous? As if Chloe had lost a competition instead of the man she loved. And in that moment, Chloe finally understood the truth she had spent her whole life avoiding. She had never truly belonged in that family. She had only been useful. So for the first time in her life, Chloe chose herself without begging, without drama, without looking back. She packed her things and left. Because sometimes walking away isn't weakness, it's the beginning of freedom. When Chloe finally chose herself, everything she thought she had lost slowly began to return in ways she never expected. After leaving behind the life that constantly made her feel worthless, Chloe moved in with her best friend Jenny, the one person who never abandoned her. Even when Chloe had given up on herself, Jenny became more than just a friend. She became the support system Chloe never had. Because Chloe had ended her education very early, starting over wasn't easy. Jenny patiently helped her improve her reading and writing skills and taught her how to use a laptop. At first, Chloe felt embarrassed and frustrated, especially seeing how easily others could do things she struggled with. But Jenny constantly reminded her that it was never too late to rebuild her life. Determined to become independent, Chloe began searching for jobs, but rejection after rejection crushed her confidence. Some places mocked her lack of education and experience, while others refused to give her a chance. Just when Chloe was about to give up, Jenny encouraged her to focus on the one thing she naturally was gifted at. Using their small savings, Chloe started a tiny bakery and food spot. It wasn't luxurious, and some days they barely had customers, but Chloe poured her heart into every meal and pastry she made. At the same time, she began teaching herself continental dishes, spending long nights watching tutorials, practicing recipes, and learning techniques from different cultures. Slowly, her skills improved, and people began talking about the talented young woman whose food tasted unforgettable. Then a life-changing opportunity appeared: an international culinary competition in France, one of the biggest cooking contests in the world. Announced auditions. The winner would receive the title of the world's best chef along with $1 million. At first, Chloe thought it was impossible for someone like her, but Jenny refused to let fear stop her. So Chloe applied, and against all odds, she was chosen. But another problem quickly appeared: money. Traveling to France was expensive, and Chloe could barely afford it. For days, she almost gave up the opportunity because the ticket alone seemed impossible to pay for. But Jenny once again stood by her side. Chloe used her lifetime savings, while Jenny contributed the little money she had secretly saved to help her friend chase her dream. Together, they managed to buy the ticket. It was one of the scariest moments of Chloe's life because she knew this journey could either change everything or leave her with nothing. And with tears in her eyes and fear in her heart, Chloe boarded the plane to France, unaware that her entire life was about to change forever. Arriving in France felt like stepping into another world. The pressure was intense, and many contestants were professionally trained chefs. But Chloe's creativity, resilience, and emotional connection to food made her stand out. That was also where she met Andrew. Andrew was one of the young investors and sponsors supporting the culinary event. Successful, calm, and incredibly supportive. He noticed Chloe long before she became everyone's favorite contestant. Unlike others, he never judged her for her background. Instead, he admired how hard she had fought to become the woman she's becoming. Their friendship slowly turned into love as they spent more time together during the competition. Round after round, Chloe shocked the judges and audience with her dishes, proving that passion and determination could compete with experience and privilege. In the end, Chloe won. The girl who had once been rejected everywhere was now crowned the winner of the world's biggest culinary competition. After the competition, Chloe returned to Africa stronger, wiser, and completely transformed. Using her prize money and experience, she opened a successful bakery and restaurant that quickly became well known for its unique blend of local and continental dishes. Wanting to give back to the one person who never abandoned her, Chloe also supported Jenny financially after returning home. With Chloe's help and her own determination, Jenny started a successful tech business that quickly gained attention and eventually won a major business innovation award. For the first time, both best friends were finally living the lives they once dreamed about. Andrew later traveled to Africa to visit Chloe, wanting to see the life she had rebuilt for herself. They spent time together, growing even closer as he supported her dreams and admired the peaceful life she had created. And eventually, standing inside the beautiful restaurant Chloe had once only dreamed about, surrounded by the people who truly loved her, Andrew finally proposed to her. This time, Chloe didn't fear love. Because with Andrew, she finally understood what it feels like to be chosen genuinely, respected completely, and loved the right way. Meanwhile, far away from Chloe's new beginning, Mia's perfect marriage to Jason was slowly falling apart. Behind closed doors, Jason had become controlling and abusive, revealing the dark side he had hidden for so long. The man Mia thought was perfect was never truly the man he pretended to be. Mia finally had everything she thought she wanted: luxury shopping sprees, designer bags, expensive vacations, endless parties, a mansion filled with everything money could buy, wealth, status, a husband she once believed was her ticket to a better life. At first, it felt like a dream. Jason spoiled her constantly, surprising her with jewelry, taking her to elite events, handing her stacks of money without hesitation. Mia enjoyed the attention, the soft life, and the feeling of finally winning. She flaunted her new life proudly, believing she had escaped the struggles Chloe once carried for the family. But behind closed doors, Jason was something else entirely. His charm faded, his kindness disappeared, and in its place, darkness revealed itself. Jason wasn't just controlling, manipulative, but he was also very abusive. Mia discovered the truth too late. At first, it started with constant illness and exhaustion. Concerned, Mia secretly went for medical tests on her own. That was when another devastating truth shattered her completely. Mia tested positive for HIV. The news left her numb with disbelief. Terrified and heartbroken, she confronted Jason the moment he returned home. But instead of showing concern or remorse, he denied everything and exploded in anger, accusing her of trying to ruin his peace with false accusations. From that moment, Mia began noticing things she had ignored before: late night phone calls, secret meetings, locked doors, strange men constantly visiting their house. The expensive gifts suddenly no longer felt romantic, they felt suspicious. One night, consumed by fear and suspicion, Mia secretly followed Jason through a hidden passage that led to a secret room in their mansion. A room she never knew existed, and what she discovered shattered her whole world completely. When Mia secretly followed Jason, he went through a hidden passage that led to a secret room in their mansion, a room she never knew existed. And that was when her whole world truly collapsed. Jason wasn't just a wealthy man, he was involved in drug and human trafficking, a dangerous man who had secretly been wanted for years. Documents, hidden cash, illegal substances, and evidence of criminal operations filled the room. That was when Mia realized she had been living beside unimaginable evil the entire time. The luxury she enjoyed, the shopping, the cars, the vacations, the money, it had all been built on darkness. Terrified and unable to sleep, Mia spent the entire night shaking in fear after discovering the truth. But the next morning, before she could even process everything she had seen, armed authorities stormed the mansion. Jason and Mia were arrested together inside the house as investigators uncovered his criminal operations. His properties, money, luxury cars, businesses, and hidden accounts were all seized during the investigation. Fear replaced pride, regret replaced satisfaction. For days, Mia's world collapsed around her as investigators questioned her involvement. But after a thorough investigation, it became clear she had no connection to Jason's crimes and had no knowledge of his activities. Jason was later sentenced to 35 years in prison for drug trafficking, human trafficking, and multiple related crimes. By the time Mia was released, she had nothing left. No mansion, no luxury, no shopping trips, no friends, no glamorous life. Just shame, regret, and the painful consequences of the choices she made. The life she once envied Chloe for seemed like a blessing she had destroyed with her own hands. Broken, ashamed, and with nowhere else to go, Mia returned home. But home wasn't the same anymore. Without Chloe, everything had fallen apart. The bills she used to pay piled up, the comfort she provided vanished, the stability she brought into their lives was gone. The family that once took her for granted now lived in the consequences of her absence. Mia, bitter and unemotionally drained, blamed her parents,
This is all
especially
your fault!
Amanda.
You ruined my
Amanda, for the
life!
first time, had no control, and Robert carried the weight of his silence because deep down, they all knew the truth. They had lost the one person who held them together, and they might never get her back.
I've forgiven you for everything.
As Chloe watched her daughter sleep, memories of the past filled her mind. 2 years ago, her life was very different. Back then, she was still trying to heal from everything her family had put her through. The pain of being neglected and constantly pushed aside had stayed with her for a long time, even after all her achievements. But then, Angel came into her life. For the first time, Chloe felt seen, valued, and genuinely loved. As their relationship grew stronger, they decided to have a simple court marriage surrounded by a few close friends. A year later, they welcomed a beautiful baby girl into the world. At the same time, Chloe's restaurant continued to grow, and for the first time, she felt truly appreciated. But even with all her happiness, the past still lingered. For years, her family had tried to contact her. This time, they weren't asking her to return, they were asking for forgiveness. With encouragement from Jenny and Andrew, and a lot of hesitation, Chloe finally agreed to go back, not to stay, just to find closure. When she stepped into her childhood home again, she immediately saw the difference. She was no longer the broken girl who had left. Robert spoke first. He apologized for failing her all those years, for allowing everything to happen with his silence. Amanda apologized too, though Chloe could still sense traces of her old behavior. But Mia was different. Life had humbled her completely. Through tears, she sincerely apologized for everything she had done. And Chloe listened. She remembered all the pain she had carried for years. Then she said the words she never thought she
I've
could.
forgiven you
I
for
forgive
everything.
you. Not because the pain was gone, but because she no longer wanted it controlling her heart. Still, forgiveness did not mean returning. But before Chloe left, Chloe handed Robert a check for $50,000 to help the family clear their debts. She also gave Mia the contact of a trusted doctor friend who specialized in HIV treatment. Chloe assured her that proper care could help her live a healthy life, not out of obligation, but out of kindness. As Chloe walked away from the house for the last time, she wasn't leaving as a broken girl. She was leaving as a woman who finally knew her worth. Because sometimes the greatest love story is the one where you
Come back
choose
soon.
yourself. 3 years had passed. Chloe stood in the kitchen, holding her belly, as she watched Andrew cook. Their daughter sat beside him, laughing, as he pretended to be a famous chef. Their house was filled with love and peace. A few weeks later, Chloe gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Life had smiled on Jenny too. After standing by Chloe through hardship, she had finally found her own happiness and was now engaged to a kind and loving man. Her tech business was also doing very well. As Chloe looked at the life she had built, her heart filled with gratitude. The girl who once begged to be loved was gone. In her place stood a woman who had found everything she deserved, and for the first time in a very long time, Chloe was truly happy.